You're listening to the Behind Ears podcast, because everybody does Disney differently. The Behind Ears podcast crew would like to thank the following sponsors for their generous support. Hey everybody, it's Mr. Chris, and I gotta tell you about Expedition Roasters. Listen, I'm a pretty big coffee drinker, just like a lot of you are, but these people have got coffee right. Their coffees are made from selectively sourced premium and specialty grade Arabica beans. They provide the absolute best flavor and aroma, and select roasts even come directly from a single estate farm for a truly perfect cup that is never bitter. They've got awesome Disney-inspired flavors such as Roundhouse Roast, Route 66, Skipper's Brew, Dark Side Roast, Redhead Rum, and one of my favorites, Bobsledder's Brew. Listen, if you want to have the taste of Disney in every cup, give them a try today. ExpeditionRoasters.com, and Behind the Ears podcast listeners gets an extra 20% off your first order by using the coupon code EARS20. That's right, EARS20. And you can find them over at ExpeditionRoasters.com. Brew your happy place. If you have a little one and you're going to Walt Disney World, you're going to need a stroller. I'll tell you what, KingdomStrollers.com is the place where you want to look into. I'll tell you, I've destroyed my fair share of strollers while at Walt Disney World, and those things are not cheap. But getting something from KingdomStrollers.com, they'll be able to help you pick out the perfect stroller for you. And the nice part is that because they're a Disney preferred provider, they'll be able to drop it off and pick it up right from your Disney resort at no extra charge. So if you don't want to necessarily destroy your stroller in the process and you want to have a great Disney vacation with your little one, contact KingdomStrollers.com and they'll set you right up. That's KingdomStrollers.com. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Behind Ears podcast. Well, everybody, this is Mr. Chris, and I would like to actually introduce to you a very special episode. This is the episode that Uncle Danny and I did live from Indianapolis for the Indy Disney meet. And I got to tell you something. I first want to give a shout out to both Kingdom Strollers as well as Expedition Roasters. Because their support of this show helped us get to the meet. We really appreciate their support. They have been absolutely fabulous to work with, and we really encourage everybody to look into their products and use their products as much as possible. We believe in their products, and we thank them for being a supporter of the show. With that said, I really want to just go ahead and say this is a very cool episode where we were in front of hundreds of people already. That people were already coming in at the very beginning of the day, and the auditorium was starting to get filled with people just enjoying themselves, people eating. It was an absolute blast, and it was very much different than what we're used to seeing people's comments on the screen. We were really feeding off the audience. Now, just a note, we have to admit the sound quality of this particular recording is not what we would call fabulous. But, we learn things every time we do something different. And this is no exception. We hope that you enjoy this episode. And thank you so much for helping us raise over $3,000 to give kids the world. That is an absolute fantastic number that we were able to reach because of you, our listeners, and we did it as a community. And we hope to do it again next spring, and we hope to even blow that number out of the water. This is definitely a celebration it's a great time for a great cause, and it's going to help bring magic to a lot of families. And it's all because of you. Thank you so much for all your help, and I hope you enjoy this episode. What's up?
Yeah. So I'd like to welcome them to the main stage, and they're going to do their podcast. Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys.
Hey, not a problem. Really glad to be here. This is the part of the playful banter part of the show where I basically tell Danny to get off his phone.
I'm sharing the show. I'm working, he's sitting.
I'm not just sitting, I'm kind of, thinking about what we're going to do next.
You might have to bring that mic over.
Yeah, I think so.
Like around. Or that.
Or do that, yeah.
All right, I shared it to a couple.
He's sharing. He's doing a lot of good things. All right. Are you done?
I'm always ready.
All right.
I was born ready. I was made for the stage. You see this face?
Yeah, but people say that you have a face for radio, face for podcasting.
We're not used to cameras.
I know, really. Not to mention, we're not really used to having a really live audience right in front of us. This is absolutely great.
As no one.
Danny's nervous. Can you go ahead and give him a little bit of encouragement here? Thank you. I don't know why he's nervous. I'm the one that's doing all the talking.
It's a typical show.
Shall we begin?
We shall. All right, so we have no music or nothing.
Nope.
So, all right.
It's all good.
And you got my mic good from this one?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3. Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Ears Podcast. For anybody who doesn't know, we are Behind the Ears Podcast. We are live here at the Indy Disney Meet. I am Uncle Danny, the man who will talk most of the show. That is Mr. Chris. Sir, how you doing on this rainy day here in Indianapolis?
I'm doing really, really well, and I resemble the remark at the fact that I do a lot of the talking, but, it's just one of those things that we happen to do every once in a while.
I mean, if anybody playing at home, we have a 30-minute slot here. I bet you Chris talks for 22 minutes.
Oh, come on. I mean, the fact of the matter is that our morning banter is, 25 minutes to begin with.
So for anybody who doesn't know who we are, once again, we are Behind the Ears Podcast. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday on Facebook at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time. You might say, who are these guys and what do they bring to the table? We do all different types of podcasts. We do top 10s, we do what grinds our gears, Disney Imagineer, but I would say 95% of our shows are about food.
Yeah.
I see a lot of you eating, so, we are also a part of that game, I would say.
Well, the fact of the matter is, you can tell that we like to taste test a lot of different things, and one of our favorite items, of course, is Casey's Corn Dog Nuggets. It's kind of like the claim to fame for us. It's one of those things. We happen to like a lot of the Disney food because we think food at Disney is basically a part of the show.
Listen, at the end of the day, you don't get to be the size of me and him if you don't like food.
It takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, this body was not built in a day.
No, not at all. So, Danny, since we have an awesome crowd right here, right now, what do you think that we should do in order to really give these people, these awesome people here in Indianapolis, a little taste of us? What do you think?
That sounds great. So like we said, we cover a variety of topics. So we decided what we're going to do is a lightning round of everything that we talk about, and you're going to get to see, since me and Chris are on completely different aspects in life and in the country, how different we are when it comes to Disney, and that's why we coined the phrase, everybody does Disney differently. So, what I'm going to say is, let's start with food.
Okay.
So, Chris,
yes.
Real quick, favorite quick service meal, quick service restaurant inside of Epcot?
Oh, favorite quick service inside of Epcot,
And this is why we're going to eat up all our time.
Oh, well, this is one of those things. You caught me off guard. Really, quite honestly, I really love the electric umbrella. I know a lot of people don't. I really do.
It's so basic.
I'm basic, but hey, it's good stuff, eh?
Tangerine Cafe. If you haven't been, head over to Morocco. Go to the Tangerine Cafe. My man Jose behind the grill. He'll hook you up with that lamb and ground beef falafel. I know it's not a falafel, but it looks like a falafel, and it's fantastic. All right.
Yeah, I agree. That's a really good one as well.
So I know that probably the biggest hot ticket item between me and you is, do you prefer to rent a car or do you prefer to take Disney transportation?
I am a Disney transportation fanatic. I mean, the fact of the matter is we drive down most of the time, and we leave our truck sitting in the parking lot for the entire duration of the trip, mainly because we need that car to actually get back, and sometimes I just don't trust everybody else on the road. I'm sorry.
Yeah, see, I'm going to take the rental car in this situation because when you walk 36 miles a day in Epcot, the last thing I want to do is now stand for 45 minutes waiting for a bus, then stand on the bus. I'd rather have that nice rental car, get the parking, and let's move forward. All right, another hot tip. Let's say you are a Disney Imagineer, and they let you say, pick a theme for a hotel. Without going into grave detail, what type of theming would you go with?
I'm going to let you do this one first.
All right, so I'm going to go with the fan favorite here, and I know I'll get a lot of love for this one, and that is going to be a haunted theme with a mix of, Haunted Mansion, Tower of Terror, make it really themed out, a very dark style hotel, but have a blast.
Okay, I would probably say... see, you caught me off guard with this one because I don't really have a really good idea. Oh. But I would probably say that if I was going to do something, I would think like kind of old-time Americana.
Oh.
I mean...
So like a Frontierland style?
No, not necessarily. I'm kind of thinking like Walt's hometown type of theme of a hotel. Oh. That would actually be really kind of cool. It'd be something totally different, but yeah, very, very homey, and that's what I would think about that.
You know what the funny thing is? We got a bigger line for food than to come watch us. We should have done our podcast from over there where the food is. People would have loved it then.
Well, hey, what can I say? They know what's going on. They've got so much great food over there. And, of course, we've got Dole Whips because, hey, Dole Whip guys, thank you for doing that. Really appreciate it. So, I mean, Dole Whips, what can I tell you?
So we're going to break off from the show for a second, just talk about the Indy Disney Meet. Once again, we did our marathon show. This is our second year here. We're absolutely, it's a blast to be here. Chris is going to run off stage because his daughter just showed up, so I'll just keep talking. So, this is odd. I'm kind of flabbergasted because I don't usually get to talk. Oh, I missed the moment. I don't usually get to talk this much. Well, once again, we do a marathon show every year to raise money, and first year we did a little over $1,500. And we raised $1,500 raised, and we did it for about 9 hours. This year, we kind of wanted to see how big of an audience we've grown over a year, and we grew it to over 12-hour show, and we raised just over $3,000 for Give Kids the World. And, I mean, that's why we come here. This is our main event. We do smaller events throughout the year, but this is the event that we look forward to the most, and that's participating at the Indy Disney Meet.
And, the thing is that we couldn't do it without a lot of the people that joined us. I mean, we had other podcasters and other Disney, what's the best way of putting it? The Disney fan favorites come and join us, and even some people that were kind of breaking into the whole Disney fandom bit. We really could not have done it without them. We had an absolute blast doing a marathon show like that, and the interesting part to us is that a lot of them contacted us afterwards and say, hey, let's do this again. And we're like, oh yeah, absolutely. And it was just really cool to see the Disney community come together, regardless of our backgrounds, regardless of what we do, just for an awesome cause. And really, that was what it was all about. And it was 12 hours, and while we were doing it, we're like, wow, this is a long day. But we also realized, hey, that went so fast for 12 hours of talking. It was absolutely crazy, but it was just an absolute pleasure doing that.
And for everybody coming today, free admission, free food. If you wear mouse ears, you get an extra raffle ticket. We do have a fantastic vacation giveaway here. 6 nights, 7-day hotel accommodation. Only thing coming out of your pocket is flight. You have to be here for that one. That is a $20 ticket. But you can check out the WDW community page. We also have the link up for the silent auction. And I know I was just chatting with a couple of our listeners, Mary included, where she is actually the one outbidding me on a few items right now.
Who's outbidding you?
Mary.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I know what she wanted, and she knows what I wanted. We have a similar interest. But
I guess you're just going to have to show her who's boss.
We are. But, at the end of the day, the money goes to a great cause, so I don't mind overpaying for something that's going to go for a fantastic cause and give kids the world.
So Danny, I got to ask you a question.
All right.
So the fact of the matter is, you and I do different things a lot. Favorite moderate resort? Because I know you like to stay at some of the moderates. What is your favorite moderate resort?
It's going to be hands down Riverside. The best ambiance. I think some of the best food. It can be a great family environment, but can also be one of the most romantic hotels, I think, on Disney property for any age couple, whether you're new, old, whatever the case is, however long you've been together. The tranquil walking at night and the water and everything over, especially in the Alligator Bayou area, hands down, probably the best. I think it might be the best resort at Disney property, period.
Are you serious? You really think that's the best resort at Disney property?
I mean, granted, like Polynesian is great because you have the idea of the monorail in Saratoga. You've got the idea of walking in the Disney Springs. But when it comes to theming, I thought they knocked that out of the park.
Well, I'd have to say that, one of my favorite moderate resorts has to also be in that same area, but it's French Quarter. And I've always wanted to go back since I've been there. And then, the thing is that it's just got a great theme, it's got a great feel to it, and it's one of the, pretty much one of the smallest resorts.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So we're making good time here, and that's why you kind of hear us stutter a second, because we're usually looking at a clock and we're going over, and we're actually running quite well. So once again, if you want to follow us, we are Behind the Ears Podcast. Once again, we go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:45 p.m. Eastern. You can find us on Facebook at Behind the Ears Podcast, Instagram Behind the Ears Podcast, Twitter is Behind the Ears PC. You can email us at behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com. Also, Trisha would kill me if I didn't mention this on a live show. Join our fantastic community in the WDW community Facebook page. We thrive in that community. We love adding more people and, growing our little Disney family inside there.
What's interesting about our Disney family that we love is that we're actually right now interacting with people who are watching from home. And we've got a lot of different people saying different things, like Chris, he's saying he also agrees with me. With French Quarter is absolutely for sure.
I mean, but that's a tough one because they kind of mash together. I mean, they are like a brother-sister hotel. So,
but Tanya also says she agrees with you about Riverside. So
yeah.
It's simple as that. But our friend Chris, who's our man on the street down there at Walt Disney World, he actually, when we were talking about transportation, his big thing is he loves the Uber.
Oh, I'm a big Uber man.
And the thing is though,
Nick knows.
Yeah, here's the thing. I wasn't really a fan of Uber until I really tried it because of you. And the first time I tried it, I was like, this really wasn't bad. But I would be, amiss if for some reason I didn't mention that my wife over there loves the minivans.
The minivans are great. They're just expensive. I promote Uber so much. Uber, if you'd like to contact me, it's behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com. You want to send me any money, any coupons, that'd be fantastic. The minivan service was absolutely fantastic. The cast member was great. The ride was smooth. They were prompt and on time. But you're paying double what you're paying for just an Uber.
Oh, but the thing of it is, if you have a larger group, it could actually be very cost effective.
Yeah.
I mean, when we had 5 of us, it was actually the same price as an Uber XL.
Yeah.
So then you kind of have to realize, hey, sometimes you have to, weigh some cost.
But that's why everybody does Disney differently.
Absolutely. It's one of those things. So, anyway, we're so excited about being here. We are rambling.
We're covering every topic.
It's like, oh my goodness gracious.
All right, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Mousekeeping. Do you accept it or turn it down?
Well, the thing is, because I'm a DVC member and most of my stays are DVC, we usually don't get a lot of mousekeeping anyway, so it doesn't matter to me.
See, I'm a big fan of turning it down. You get the gift card. People are like, but I want them to change my sheets. I want you to all think about this logically. When you're at home, do you change your sheets every day? If you do, that's a very expensive water bill for doing a lot of sheets. No,
but the thing is, there are some people that really like that sort of thing, and I'm like, okay, fine, but I don't see it to be necessary.
No, I mean, it's a great, especially if you need to clean up, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're going to clean up when you're at home anyway, so if Disney's going to throw you an extra $25, $50, $75, I mean, you're just going to spend it in the park anyway, so, I mean, I think for them, it's a win-win.
Well, I mean, it is one of those things where you can really take advantage of that, and, every little bit helps. I mean, even for one day, that could buy you a meal, for one person at a quick service.
Yeah, I mean, that'll definitely cover a meal at Tangerine Cafe, sponsored by Uncle Dan.
I know you really like that, and I've tried it too, and, it's one of those things where I really liked it as well. I tried it because of you. So
okay.
It's one of those things.
Flower and Garden Festival or wine and food?
Wine and food, because if I go to Flower and Garden, especially if my daughter's with us, it's nothing but a sneeze fest. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry, Verge, but it's true.
The allergies, huh?
Hey, listen, all I have to say is that we went into the butterfly garden with Virginia.
Oh, that's
By the
fun.
time we walked all the way around the butterfly garden, Virginia says,
She needs that artificial grass everywhere.
I mean, you got to pump her full of Zyrtec or whatever beforehand, like 3 days ahead, and like really pump it up.
See, and I'm going to go opposite. I think the flower and garden, because it's turned so much into a mini wine and dine that you get the aspect of all the extra flowers and the butterfly exhibit. And they actually have, me and Nick tried it. The pig wings were fantastic.
Really?
Fantastic. Absolutely recommend it for everyone. All right, so Halloween party, Christmas party.
I'm not a Halloween fan. I'm going to be really honest. I am not a Halloween fan. I love the Halloween party, but if I had to choose between the two, I'm going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party every time.
And see, once again, this is why we're so different. I'm going the complete opposite way. I'm going to the Halloween party, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. How can you be a headless horseman coming down Main Street? You've got grave diggers dragging, a shovel throughout Main Street. You've got free candy. I'm sorry. Once again, you don't get to be this size and not eat candy. I love it. It's fantastic. The theming is great. They run it, and if you do your vacation the right way, you can hit both parties, which I think is absolutely stunning.
Well, yeah, you can do that, but then your mind kind of figures out, well, when I go home, what do I celebrate?
New Year's.
Oh, there you
Get
go.
ready for Valentine's Day. It's right around the corner. St. Patrick's Day, Columbus Day. You can't forget all these other holidays. These are important days.
Oh, but the thing is, you have to remember is that if you go ahead and you go to the Christmas party, you've got snow in Florida.
Soap, but yeah.
It's snow.
Snow.
You know what I'm saying? Snow. We didn't even think about that until just now. It's snow. From now on, it's snow. And I like that. And the interesting part about the Snope is that if you get it on the camera lens, you're hosed.
Yeah, you're done.
Because you can't get it off. But that's beside the point.
I love seeing Mickey dressed up as Santa. Don't get me wrong, that's fantastic. But at the same time, I don't know. I like seeing all the pumpkins. I guess I'm a sucker, though. My sister got married inside Epcot during Halloween a couple years back, so maybe it's a little more nostalgia than anything else.
Okay, so speaking about Christmas party, I got one for you.
Okay.
If you could only go to Disney one time a year, and that one time a year was over Christmas,
Okay.
like on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
would you actually go?
Am I a local, or am I traveling there on vacation?
You are traveling there on vacation.
How long am I there for?
You're there over Christmas and into New Year's.
Absolutely. Is it my only vacation for the year?
Yes, it is.
No, I'm not going. SeaWorld, here I come. No. Absolutely no. I mean, listen, if that's the only time you and your family can go, whether it's jobs and kids out of school, you could still make the best of it. But, during high ticket times like that, you got to realize you're only going to get about 3 or 4 rides done in a day. And that's because you have fast passes.
So one of the things that we like to do on our show is we love to interact with those that watch us live. And right now, we've got a whole bunch of people watching us live right now on the Behind Your Podcast Facebook page. I want to give a shout out to Justin, who's watching us. He's like, you're in Indy. I'm only 2 hours away. Is this only today? Guess what, Justin? Yes, it is. Come on down. Go look at the Indy Disney Meet Facebook page. Take a look. We're over here. Come on down. We're gonna be here until 7 o'clock. So come on down. And the thing is, we love to interact with our listeners, just because one of the things we love to do is be interactive, unscripted, unedited. And the fact of the matter is that we may know what we're going to talk about, but we are unscripted. And also, we're unedited. So whatever we say on the show, whatever happens, happens. It's one of those things.
The whole family all decked out.
I love it. I love it. Ears everywhere. So the thing is that when we see something like that in our show, and we interact with our guests, that is on our podcast as well. It's actually really cool.
So Chris came a couple years back with him and his daughter, and it was a smaller of a crowd, but you could tell it was growing. Last year we came for the first time as a business, and we were blown away by everything that they were doing. This year, this is an amazing turnout. At 11:30, there was a line out the door. People were standing in the rain to get in. That's not an exaggeration. We have pictures of this. So, thank you everybody for coming out to the Indy Disney Meet and, helping out with a great cause and give kids the world and spending your day with us, because it's been an absolute pleasure dealing with everybody today.
And the thing is that they have got so much going on here. It's absolutely amazing. And, it really, I know there's a lot of people watching us right now that are only a couple hours from Indy. Well, you know what? Come on down for a couple hours. Road trip it. I mean, I love Indianapolis. This place is so cool. I mean, we've been telling people to come out here for a weekend road trip. I mean, seriously, I fell in love with this place ever since my daughter went to school down here. And, you know, I come down here for lunch just because it's fun and interesting. So I'm totally good with that.
We also like to hit some of the hot topics on maybe the controversial things.
Are you really going there?
I'm going to go with the controversial here for a second.
What's that?
So now that Stitch's Great Escape is gone, I feel like there's no Kicking Boy anymore. What is the one ride inside Disney where if it went away tomorrow, you wouldn't even think twice about it?
Oh man. So
you want a minute?
You see, there is.
I'll go first.
Go first.
It's the American Speedway.
Will you lay off the Speedway,
Come
man?
on. The cars don't go straight. The stuffing is falling out. You hit the gas. It's really the brake. You know, then you have the Yahoo behind you when you're stopped. They slam into you. The cars break down.
Hey, don't talk about my wife that way.
The whole place just smells like gasoline and oil. I'm sorry. We're going green in Disney. Let's get rid of the Speedway. Let's start it here. The petition starts today. Get rid of the Speedway.
Oh my
I'm getting booed. I'm getting cheered.
Wow. You know, I don't even know how to react to that, but I'll tell you, I don't really want to have it to go away, but I really want for them to reimagine Mission Space. Okay? I like it. I know they just redid it. Their green line is an entirely different storyline. It's actually really pretty cool now. But can we do something differently? And photo op.
You smile.
But I would say don't necessarily get rid of Mission Space. Redo Mission Space.
All right. So as we wrap up here, what are you looking forward to coming the most? You know, we have the Space Restaurant coming over to Epcot. You've got the Ratatouille ride going over to Epcot. We've got Tron coming in at Magic Kingdom. You know, what is the one thing that you are anticipating? What is the one thing that it keeps you up at night because it's not open yet?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I know people have had some heartburn over the idea of having the whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing come into Epcot. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. I really want to see what they do with it because there's got to be a storyline that fits somewhere in, Future World.
Okay.
There has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one thing that we've learned in the past, Disney tells a great story in all of their attractions. We may not understand it until we actually go and try it. That's why I think that one is going to be really cool. But I will say, as a second, I always loved the Tron movies, and I can't wait for the Tron coaster to come.
And you see, that's the one thing I'm honestly not looking forward to is Tron.
Really?
It looks amazing, but I've watched too many videos. The same thing as I can't wait for Ratatouille to open, but I can go watch the videos, and it looks like a pretty standard roller coaster. What I'm most looking forward to is the Space Restaurant coming over into Epcot because I think it's going to be phenomenal. But I'm hoping that they do the theming correct and the food goes with that space theme. I'm not saying vacuum-sealed meat, but can we at least get close to what I want here?
Vacuum-sealed meat? Where did you come up with that?
Freezer-dried ice cream, is that better? Lamb and tuna fish? What do you want? There you go, right?
Wait. But if they did freeze-dried Dole Whip, I would be all over that.
I mean, I'm up for anything. I'll try it.
Although, you can get the Dole Whip mix on Amazon. I suppose you can it's dry. I suppose all you can do is take a spoonful of that and see what happens.
Yeah.
But, that's just...
Oh, the nitrogen ice cream balls. Yep.
But, speaking of which, I do want to ask your favorite question.
Okay.
Favorite adult beverage anywhere in Disney World?
I'm going to have to go with the Grand Marnier slush over in France. On a nice hot summer day, nothing like a little frozen alcoholic beverage. It's wonderful.
I will tell you that I have fallen in love with the grapefruit beer over in Germany, the Schlöffen.
But see, you can buy that outside of Disney, though.
Thank you. Jessica's making sure that I say it right. That and a big pretzel.
Let's
Seriously.
see how well I know Jessica. I'm going to say La Poo from Polly. Yeah.
She has to have the umbrella in all of her drinks.
Yeah.
She collects the umbrellas It's as simple
it's
as that.
between the medals and the umbrellas now. That's what we're collecting here.
Oh my gosh.
So
about 10 minutes left. So yeah, but yeah. So okay, easy for me to say.
So going back to top 10 favorites.
Okay.
Leaning towards deluxe hotels. Where's your go-to? Because you are a DVC member and you are a member of Saratoga.
Yes.
But if you didn't have that home base, if you could have stayed anywhere, where would you have wanted to stay at a deluxe resort?
Well, the interesting part about that is, a while ago I would say, Wilderness Lodge was my favorite because I used to be able to sit in the lobby on Wilderness Lodge and relax right there.
Yeah.
Then I fell in love with Animal Kingdom Lodge. And quite honestly, we've stayed there more in the past 10 years than almost any other resort. But I have to say this. I fell in love with the villas over at the Grand Floridian.
Oh.
Absolutely fell in love with the villas over at the Grand Floridian.
Talk about bougie.
Well, the fact of the matter is, though, I don't know if I would actually like to stay in the non-DVC part, the regular hotel part.
Okay.
But the villas were so quaint yet so luxurious, I completely fell in love.
Okay. If you're listening to the show for the past 3 years, I will literally shove Polynesian down your throat left and right. You would think I own a piece of it. But after staying at Saratoga a few months back, and that really won me over. And it's not because of the theming, because I think they actually do a lesser job of theming at Saratoga than, say, Polynesian, Grand Floridian. But I'll tell you, it's all about location. What does a real estate agent say? Location, location, location. And as much as I want to be on the monorail, so does 90% of the people. But what I want to be close to is what I think is hands down the best food in Disney, and that's Disney Springs. We all remember the old school downtown Disney when it was bad. They had, chicken
Well,
fish.
hold on.
It was bad.
It was never bad.
It was never good either.
Oh.
I mean, what's your definition of bad and my definition of good seem to be a little closer. I'm just saying, with Homecoming, The Polite Pig, Edison, that's just three right off the top that have some of the best food options for a variety of palates, and it's all centrally located in one area.
Well, it definitely has actually gone up quite a bit in quality over the past couple of years, and I actually enjoy going to Disney Springs now. It actually works out quite well for me. And staying at Saratoga, especially in the Congress Park area, is definitely the way to do it. But here's the thing: staying at at the Contemporary, I think that's your best monorail resort.
But see, and at the end of the day, I feel like the Contemporary needs to be updated. It's not contemporary anymore.
What do you mean it's not contemporary? It's completely modern.
It's not really, is it?
Yes, it is.
It reminds me of 1996.
No.
If they just threw up. And
Did
there
you
go.
live through 1996?
I was 6, so yes, I was there. I was well alive. I was watching Rugrats and hanging out.
Oh my God, the Rugrat, really?
Nickelodeon.
Did your parents not like you or something like that? I don't know. But no, I actually think in some cases the Contemporary resort is almost too contemporary.
Really?
I do.
You went with Grand Floridian, and here's why I don't like Grand Floridian. For anybody who likes to go swimming in Disney, do you walk through your hotel in your swimming trunks and get a towel around your neck, maybe a floaty, maybe a noodle you're going to smack your sister with? It's all grand dandy. You try walking through Grand Floridian in a bathing suit, you're getting judged.
Hey, listen, if I'm walking through the Grand Floridian in a bathing suit, I'm walking very quickly.
Yeah, I feel like I should be in a 3-piece suit. That's how I should enter their pool.
Okay, solution. Get a tuxedo-shaped bathing suit. Problem solved.
That's copyrighted. No one's allowed to take that.
There you go.
Trademarks in the works.
We will have those on our store next week.
Favorite pool outside Disney?
Oh.
Are you really a Dungle Beach Club?
Well,
come on, not outside of Beach Club.
Oh my
it's
God.
Too easy.
Okay. I really do love the pool over at Kidani. But
I thought you were going to go with Art of Animation. Because they pipe the music in.
As cool as that is, it doesn't have a hot tub. And the problem of it is my wife doesn't like to stay at hotels that don't have a hot tub.
Coronado.
I do like
That's
Coronado.
Really nice.
I will say.
Okay, I'm going to flip it.
Okay.
You know what the worst pool in Disney property is?
Okay, what?
Boardwalk.
Why?
You really want to come out of that clown's mouth? That's creepy. There's a whole other world of craziness with that clown.
I want to poll the audience here. Who here thinks that the clown slide at the boardwalk is creepy? Give us an applause.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Everybody's raising their hands. Okay, so thank you. And it is. It's creepy as all get out. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Talk about an update needed. That's it right there.
But it's a fun slide.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those cases.
Do you want to vote everybody sing happy birthday to Nick on the channel?
Okay. So we're going to wrap up here. We're just going to, once again, we are Behind the Ears Podcast. You can follow us every Tuesday and Thursday live on Facebook. We also have a normal podcast that gets out on all the podcast places. Apple, iTunes, Google Play, wherever you download your podcast catcher, you can catch us there. We're live on Facebook at 9:45 Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can also join our Facebook group. That's the WDW community. As we wrap up here, we want to do one special thing.
Oh, he's all the way at the table.
It is?
Yeah. Can you get in there? Yeah. So we're just going to hold up for a second here. What we're going to do here is we have a wide variety of people who came to see us from all over. I'm from New Jersey. Chris is from the Chicagoland area. But we've had visitors from all over Indiana, Illinois, but Wisconsin. And actually, Chris and myself have become very close with a couple of our listeners who are actually getting married in 2 weeks. And we'll be out in Wisconsin together at a very Disney-themed wedding. We'll definitely have some pictures with that.
Disney-themed wedding doesn't come close. It's really epic. The centerpieces are like represent a whole bunch of different attractions at Disney. It is absolutely fabulous.
So everybody standing right, if everybody can we have everybody's attention for a second. This ginormous man right here in the red, he's not only getting married in 2 weeks, but today is also his birthday. So what we would like to do is, if everybody could just take a moment to sing happy birthday to Nick, who came all the way from Wisconsin to come see us. So 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nick. Happy birthday to you. Many more birthdays and congratulations on your wedding. Once again, everybody, we are Behind the Ears Podcast. I am Uncle Danny. That is Mr. Chris. Everybody have a safe and wonderful day. Keep donating, keep buying things. It's all going to a great cause, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day, everybody. To our listeners, thank you so much for being with us. We really super appreciate it. Don't forget the online stuff. Yeah, well, we really love you guys. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you to the Behind the Ears Podcast for being a platinum sponsor and sponsoring our Dole Whip stand that's backed by the food. If you haven't had pineapple Dole Whip.
Thanks for listening to this very special episode of the Behind the Ears Podcast. You heard us live from the Indy Disney meet, and boy, I got to tell you something. We were told that we had a half an hour, and I'll be honest, I don't know if you could tell. I bet you could. We were very hyped up. We were excited, and we talked very quickly. Again, we apologize for some of the quality, but we just had an absolute blast, and we know that next year is going to be even better. If you got a chance to see us at the Indy Disney meet, thank you for stopping by. If we missed out on you, we really apologize, and we hope to see you again next year. But thank you so much for being with us, and we hope to talk to you again very soon. You heard the show, and we hope you want more. Well, feel free to join us over at our social media platforms. Instagram and our Facebook page can be found at Behind the Ears Podcast. Our webpage is behindtheearspodcast.net, and our email is behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com. And our Twitter handle is @BehindTheEarsPC. And come and join the conversation about all things Disney over at the WDW community page. Don't forget to rate and review the show over at iTunes or Apple Podcasts, as it really helps us get the word out about the show. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the show on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or the Podbean app. Also, you can listen to us on Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and via Alexa and Google Home.